Here we are, midweek, the 18th of March, 2026. It is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, 24 hours away, give or take, from the start of the NCAA tournament. The World Baseball Classic is away, through, done with, completed. United States, silver. Second place. Runner-up, whatever you want to call it. Venezuela, champions, 3-2 win at Lone Depot Park. You got Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Perez, I guess full-time hockey sub, give or take. Who knows? Damian's going to be with us a lot now. Now that Christian Cat, if you missed yesterday, Christian Cat, our producer of today's program, his final day with Russo and Rizzo was yesterday. He is taking a job, another opportunity at ESPN Milwaukee. He is going to be working alongside their Bucks and Brewers coverage on air, so you can hear him there on ESPN Milwaukee. And he's moving up there. His girlfriend is up there. Stars aligned. Took another opportunity. Christian, we decided to announce this about 48 minutes before Christian left.
True, because Christian never wants to make it about him. And you know me, I would have done this for a week and a half. That C-Cat was leaving.
Yeah, Christian,
I would have done it up.
We announced it yesterday that he was leaving. We knew about this for about a week or two.
Yeah.
And so Christian is no longer going to be with us. He's still alive, but he's phrasing it like that. But he will be taking another opportunity. So he's going to be with ESPN Milwaukee. He just worked on Theoretically Speaking, which was right before us, 2 to 4 weekdays from Roger Dean Chevrolet Park. So they did it he did the remote, and he is getting in the car, quite literally, and he is driving up north, a la Will Hunting. Got to go see about a job. And so he's heading up north. He's got to get to Chicago before midday tomorrow. I don't think he's going to knock that out. Damien, we talked about it yesterday. Christian, it needs to drive tonight. He needs to get to Chicago, 20-hour drive. And you're going to lose entirety of tomorrow if you don't play your cards right. And I don't think Christian's going to play his cards right.
Yeah, that's a long trip. And it really determines how far he's going to get tonight. I think that's going to really help him out.
He's got to get at least through Atlanta. Atlanta's about 8 hours north.
Let me ask both of you. You guys like night driving? I kind of do.
I don't.
It depends.
Not alone.
I think it depends the highway, the roads, like the winding roads of West Virginia count me out. But if it's a 4-lane highway with lights, I could do that, you could do that in my sleep. But if it's a pitch black old country road, that's where I run into issues.
Right.
AKA Yeehaw Junction when I went to Tampa. That was a nightmare of a drive. Now, we're in great hands with our good buddy Damian Perez. As you guys know, he is my producer on Saturday Tailgate. He is my producer on Pink Smoke. I work very closely with Damian, and I think he'd be a great candidate for the job.
So here's what I'll say. Another thing, Damian, we were talking about it yesterday. We were trying to have, an in memoriam for Christian's career with us. And, Christian was the producer of our show since the inception, which was September 3rd of 2024. And Christian, what's your fondest memory on Russo and Rizzo? And he goes, I don't know.
I was actually tuning in for that.
You got nothing? You weren't nothing in infatuated with you with your days of working with Mike and I? He was down on us.
Yeah. First off, Colin labeled him as the reluctant producer about 2 weeks into our show?
Oh, yeah, very clearly.
Very, very clearly. But I told you numerous times, I'll miss Christian. I think he's great. I think he's great at his job. Milwaukee's getting a great guy.
We had no fond memories of us.
That hurt a little bit.
We had no fond memories.
That hurt a little bit.
I think he was just trying not to get emotional over the air.
And also, Christian hates making things. I've learned this about Christian. He doesn't like when the spotlight's on him and things are about him. And that's why I think he waited until the final day to let everybody know, hey, I'm out. It's not Christian. Me, God forbid, listen, I don't want to go anywhere, okay? I'd love it here. If something were to happen, we could do it for a week. We could do it for a month, however long. Tour. Yeah, that's the kind of person I am. You know what I mean? So, people are different, I guess is what I'm trying to say. People are different. And that's how he decided to do it. But yeah, I'm
on the memories. He had no fond memories.
Now, what did we bring up? We brought up
the Orange Bowl.
The Orange Bowl was great. The micro wrestling segments and stuff, and us having fun with that was a lot of fun.
When he went during Game 5
of the World Series. We brought up the Sean Payton spat that all of us got into. And there's plenty more. I mean, there's a lot more that we're forgetting.
Yeah, Mike and I enjoyed, but I guess evidently Christian did not. So I was sitting there nothing? Anything you want to say to Mike and I? No? See you guys. All right. Bon voyage. It was a little cold. It was funny. It's classic Christian. Classic. I wouldn't expect it any other way.
Yeah.
And it seemingly did not cry on Theoretically Speaking.
He's not a crier.
So he had his shades on, and I think at the end, I did hear some cracking in his voice, some irregularities. But yeah, he had his shades on. That was a bit strategic.
God forbid the last day you're at ESPN West Palm for you, whenever and if ever that is, that will be, you will be buckets crying.
I'm an emotional man.
I know
man.
You're an emotional person.
Man.
You would not be. You would be a rough guy to have a conversation with on his last day.
Dude, I cried in Jujutsu Kaisen when Satoru Gojo got sent to the prison
You would
realm.
be.
You bet your butt I'm going to be crying.
Peel off the floor.
Yeah, dude.
You'd be peel off the floor.
But that's the kind of man I am. Christian's not a crier. He's not a crier. I'm a,
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Love it. You hit the nail on the head. I'll tell you what. I didn't cry last night, but I had a couple of words for that Team USA team last night that couldn't hit Eduardo Rodriguez, who has in his entire career in the MLB has never had an ERA under 3.8. I mean, Colin, that hitting performance, people are getting all over DeRosa today.
I think it's
People are getting all over, Whitlock. Dude, hit the ball.
I agree.
Hit the ball.
We're talking about Garrett Whitlock in the ninth inning.
Yes.
I mean, come on. If I'm DeRosa, just to bring, we'll talk about the whole game.
Correct.
Ninth inning, you're putting in Whitlock. I would bet you money that the Padres called DeRosa and said you could only deploy Mason Miller if it's a save opportunity. And that was a situation where he doesn't have time to call up A.J. Preller of the Padres to ask if it's okay to use Mason Miller for the second time in 3 days. Whitlock was nails the whole tournament, and he gave up one hit. And that caused a run, 3-2, and the United States had big-time hitters on the other side of things, and absolutely nothing happened. Nolan McLean gave you essentially 5 innings, gave up 2 runs.
No problem with that.
You sign up for that.
No problem with that.
We'd sign up for that yesterday. Not even a question.
No.
Give us 5 innings. All right, you give up 2, a solo shot. All right, fine. Like, a couple missed pitches. Listen, I understand the lack of Gunnar Henderson. I understand the lack of Pete Crow Armstrong. But the bottom line is there are Hall of Famers on the field hitting in that lineup, and they couldn't do anything against that pitching staff.
7 innings. Shut out for 7 innings.
1 swing was the reason they got on the board. One swing.
And I hate, if I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to say it's not all on Whitlock. Listen, it's not all on Aaron Judge, but I told you, live at TGL yesterday, Russo and Rizzo.
He's due for his big moment.
I said, I think Judge is going to have his big moment. Boys, Judge did have his big moment, and that's pooping the sheets when push comes to shove, when it's crunch time. Judge, in World Baseball Classic elimination games, 2 for 11, 6 strikeouts. Come on, man. I know that was his MO, and if I'm being fair, I didn't think he played too bad last playoff run for the Yankees.
Mostly.
With that said, 2 for 11 with 6 strikeouts when it counts. And I hate to be stat guy. You guys know I'm baseball guy. I like my stats when it comes to baseball. Team USA in their last 13 innings of the World Baseball Classic, 3 for 41 and 17 strikeouts. You're not going against Tarek Skubal, who I think was a big reason you lost it. Like, Colin, you're not going up against heavy-hitting pitching, and you're still 3 for 41. That's the reason you lost. Don't look at DeRosa. Don't look at Whitlock. Don't look at McLean, who gave up 2 runs. Look at the lineup that couldn't hit Eduardo Rodriguez, a lifelong 4 ERA man, and who has never, actually, 1 year, in 2016, he was a K per 9 pitcher, meaning a strikeout per inning. He's never been a K per 9 pitcher, and he made you look silly last night. Shameful. And apparently I'm the only one who cares about it. I'm the only one who cares about this damn tournament. So you know what? Next time this comes around, won't hear a peep from me. The players don't care.
Yeah, they didn't care.
The players don't care. Our fans don't care. Americans are rooting for their heritage teams. I know Italian Americans that are rooting for the Italians. I know Dominican Republic Americans that are rooting for the DR. We're Americans. We're supposed to root for Team USA. I have a major issue with a lot of things that went on during this tournament, Colin. So for that,
I can't blame people who have heritage associations with whatever country.
So when they're playing Team USA and you were born and raised here, come on, I have an issue with that. So from now on, I'm done caring. This is officially a Mickey Mouse tournament to me, and I couldn't care less. I'm done. I'm done caring about the World Baseball Classic. Don't ask Mike Rizzo in 2029 what I think of the World Baseball Classic. It's an afterthought. I won't watch, and I'm all done. Our players don't care. The Americans don't care. I'm good. I'm all good. And I'm done getting fired up about it because I was really upset last night. I'm going to bed going, how the hell did we lose to Venezuela? How the hell did we lose to Venezuela? Oh, my God, you had one hit that really mattered in the whole game.
You could almost
I'm like, dude.
In a weird way, Venezuela wanted it more. Is that not clear?
Oh,
that
my
was
God.
Abundantly clear.
Abundantly clear.
They deserved that win.
The fans.
They deserved it.
The fans.
The
players.
You got to say that objectively. They deserved it.
And that's why I don't care. My team, but my country, who my players are representing, they don't care about it. So I'm done caring about it. And apparently they're okay with not being the best country in the world at baseball. Hockey, basketball, and numerous other sports we're the best at. I guess they don't care about the game of baseball that we created. They don't care. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Don't ask me about this tournament, Kyle, in 2029. Don't ask me.
Yeah, if you're going to get on anybody for this, I mean, there's a couple of faces and names that you could point to in terms of why. But the bottom line is the United States had one major plague of their team the entire tournament, essentially, and it was the hitting. The offense could not show up in a big spot. The pitching let them down in one situation. It was against Italy. And after that, the pitching was mostly completely won the game against the Dominican Republic. It's number one. But mostly was rock solid. They were in a position where the offense, you just needed the breath of life from somebody. There's a lot of solo home runs. There was not a lot of, there was no running around the bags, getting three guys in on a 3 RBI double. None of that. It was a lot of one guy goes 1 for 4 with a solo shot, and there's his contribution. And, Judge gets walked. He's able to get to second. He gets stranded. Situations like that. It was a lackluster game if you're rooting for. It felt like a Yankee playoff game, to be completely honest with you. And if you're I don't even root for the Yankees. I hate the Yankees. But I always watch those games from the perspective of how does the fan feel watching this? And you watch it thinking, boy, here's another opportunity. Here's another high leverage at bat for Aaron Judge. Here's another high leverage at bat for a lot of these major players. And he doesn't show up. He doesn't show up. You want to talk about last postseason? Fine. But if you remember in the game 3 where he was excellent against Toronto, but game 2 is when he had bases loaded in the second inning with a chance to basically put them away and really get that game off firing, striking out. High leverage at bats, left and right and here and there. It's been the plague of his career. And you want to talk about it's not a big tournament? It was a big game for him. It's a big game for him. He is known, his caveat, the reason why he is an all-time great player who has an asterisk is because he does not have an amazing, illustrious, big-time game career.
Yep.
He is not known as clutch. And I'm not putting this entire game on Judge, but Judge is the guy who's making $50 million, who was the Triple Crown winner, who's the best hitter in the American League by a mile long. And we're relying on Bryce Harper to get 1 2-run shot in the 8th, and probably the last bat that Bryce Harper will ever have representing the USA, because he's not going to be on that team next year. There's a bunch of first basemen in the wings waiting for that opportunity to get there. You don't think Nick Kurtz is going to be on that roster spot next year? Probably 2 years from now, probably not. So in the last at bat, but you can't get on him. You can't go after Bryce Harper there because he tied the game. But you could go to here, you could go to Buxton, you could go to Bregman, you could go to Gunnar Henderson. At the bottom line is the U.S. roster construction. The pitchers didn't care. They were the pitchers. I would say they were hindered by their clubs. The teams didn't care. That's why, right? The Cubs go to Matthew Boyd and say, "You got to be back here if you want to be opening day starter." You're telling me 9 days away from opening day, Tarek Skubal couldn't have pitched last night?
Look what it meant when the Venezuelans won. Eugenio Suarez cried for an hour.
Right.
Ronald Acuna cried for an hour.
Brian Rhodes, our content director, was there. He said people didn't leave the concourse for an hour.
I have a problem with Brian, what he said. He said he was rooting for Venezuela by the end of it. Got a major issue with that. We're Americans.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
We're Americans. We root for Team USA.
Now,
we root for Team
now,
USA.
hold on. Now, you could watch that game, and the second they finished that, I said Venezuela earned that. That's their championship.
I'm not taking anything away from them. It's more about what we did wrong. And a lot of it has
The United States didn't lose that game. Venezuela took that game.
I think we lost the game because of the lack of bats.
Well,
that's
that's another way of saying the Venezuelan pitching staff shut down the United States offense.
That lineup should have been able to score 4 runs.
Should have
against Eduardo Rodriguez.
But one thing I'll say is that's chicken or the egg. Did the bats not show up, or did the pitching shut them down?
Yeah.
Now everybody shut down that offense. So maybe you could chalk it up to that, but you got to give the Venezuelans credit. High leverage pitching. They brought in a lot of guys out of the pen. They all mostly pitched well. They shut them down in the bottom of the 9th.
Lack of taking I got a couple of things for you. Team USA Baseball. Lack of taking it serious. I think that's number 1. Number 2, not being able to deploy your guys how you want to deploy your guys.
You probably had the wrong manager in there.
Number 3, Tarek Skubal and some of your best players punting and not wanting to play. I'm just at the point where if we're not going to have our best roster and we can't use our players how we see fit, like all these other teams like Japan, the DR, Venezuela, then let's just not show up. Let's just make it everybody but us, because I'm done getting embarrassed in this tournament. I've been embarrassed now 2 times. Mike Trout, swing and miss to Shohei Ohtani, and then whatever the hell last night was with the bats disappearing. I felt really bad for Bryce Harper. And I know you're going to disagree with me on this because probably how awful he was against Italy, but I did feel bad for DeRosa. I don't think that was on DeRosa, that game. A lot of people, the Gunnar Henderson, like Bregman was 3 for whatever. We all know the Bregman stats that Fox was showing, how pitiful he's been.
But he was great against that pitcher. What is DeRosa supposed to think?
Yeah.
We talked about that yesterday. He was 9 for 30 against Eduardo Rodriguez. He had plenty of experience. He knows the pitcher. He's a big game player, at least when he's on Houston or the Boston. That's a situation where I can't blame DeRosa putting Bregman in that spot because nobody has been able to hit. Now, Gunnar Henderson has been excellent, and you only gave him 1 at bat. But I'm not going to sit here and he had a chance at the end of the game, and you can't just give him 1 and chalk it up as a bad performance. But somebody's got to. It can't just be the Gunnar Henderson show. I mean, seriously. And another thing that I do think hurt the United States, and I was talking about it today with one of our coworkers here at ESPN West Palm. You think it would have suited the United States where instead of having Alex Bregman come off the bench in a pitch hitting scenario, having a guy like it's a very high quality utility player that is used to pinch hitting, that is used to being platooned in these spots? I'd make an argument that Gunnar Henderson coming out for 1 at bat, he's not that used to that.
Yeah, he's used to being an everyday starter.
You need 4 at bats a game. There are guys who know how to leverage up. You tell me Tommy Edman. I'm not saying they should have gotten Tommy Edman. But you don't think Tommy Edman would have been good in that spot?
But I get
that would have helped.
It's taking a roster spot away from somebody who's comparatively better than the other player.
It's like having Derek White on the United States men's basketball
over Jaylen Brown.
Over Jaylen Brown or Jalen Brunson. Oh. Right? It's similar to that. There's got to be a little bit better of a roster construction. And another thing, you got to find a workaround with the pitchers. And I'm not saying the United States dealt with the same thing that Venezuela had to deal with it a lot. Altuve was in the crowd. So they had to deal with the same thing. But the pitching, you got to figure out a time, whether it's in the CBA or not, where you could guarantee that these players, this tournament's only getting bigger. 8 million people watch the Dominican Republic USA on Sunday. I'd ballpark that 12 plus are going to watch last night on Fox.
Yeah.
This is coming back in a big way.
Yeah, I won't be participating in it, though. I'm all done. I'm not going to finish second place in a sport that we created, that we're expected to win.
Are you happy that it's more competitive?
No. I wish we'd win every game 15-0. That's the exciting. I
do want to watch exciting baseball.
That's what
that was an exciting baseball game.
And you let me know if I'm sorry, man. I expect to win baseball. I'm an American. We created the sport, top to bottom. We have the best roster. We could have a conversation if the 1 through 9 is the best. All right. Clearly, the bats showed that they were not the best. What I'm saying is the totality of the roster. We have the best roster. We were the favorites according to Vegas, and we pooped it away again. This second straight year. I expect to win baseball. I'm sorry. I expect to win that sport.
Now, Damian, you have ties. Damian Perez, our producer behind the glass today. You have ties to Uruguay, of course. You were completely on board? Were you rooting for USA throughout the tournament? Did you follow along with that?
Oh no, I was on board with USA. I was rooting for them.
We have teammates that are from Venezuela, so I was curious if you were taking their side or whatever it might have been.
No, and I completely get them rooting for Venezuela. It just means that much more. But I think from my perspective, and we were talking about this with Mike earlier, to relate it to world football, I can only imagine if a player like Mbappe, and I know it's different in baseball, and they got the season coming up, but a player like Messi, Mbappe, Ronaldo, saying, I'm only playing 60 minutes in the game, and then I got to go.
Right.
Because I got to prioritize.
Yeah.
I have to prioritize playing for the club. That's something that would never happen, and that's something I will never agree with.
And to piggyback off that, I understand that, like, it's never going to turn into that. You know, world football, soccer, as we call it here. I mean, playing for your country is everything to those guys. They'll punt playing in Champions League games and league games to go play for the national team. I understand.
It's spread apart. It's a little.
Well, there's
you're
international.
There's
breaks.
You're comparing
there's breaks, but the issue is like, I'm shooting from the. I was watching something and the guy was explaining. I think it was Smoltz. John Smoltz was on some podcast, and he said, set up the international breaks and go let the players. The issue is you play 162 games. Like, Damian, the totality of a soccer schedule, I think, comparatively to the sport is the same. But American sports is just something we've never adopted. Our international breaks,
so
stopping the season
and
going and playing.
A la NHL, axe All-Star break, make it a little longer, and make it the World Baseball Classic.
But that would be adding an additional 30, how many games?
Maybe adding at 7-8 games.
I don't think
a week and a half.
I don't think MLB teams would sign up for that mid-season. That's my 2 cents.
I think it's doable.
I hope you're right.
I'm on the other side of that. I think that's doable,
hope you're right.
and I actually think that's the solution.
I hope you're right.
I think that's the solution. You do it mid-July. You have the World Baseball Classic. You have complete exclusivity. You're not competing against anything. And weirdly enough, you're worried about the pitchers. Pitchers don't like shutting down for 15 days in the middle of the season, right? Like they like to. It's rolling. It's about getting into a rhythm. Now, it's a little weird because they're not going to get deployed the same. Who knows? But I think it can be negotiated, whether it be in the next CBA, whether they enter into some sort of partnership with the World Baseball Classic where they could input it. I don't know if they'll ever axe all the All-Star stuff, but I think that is the best way to move forward.
Why don't fellow Americans feel the way I do today? Why aren't they steaming mad about losing baseball?
Well, I'm not
steaming mad as an American not winning that competition.
I'm not steaming mad because they did not deserve to win the game. They didn't deserve to win that tournament.
But is it like,
for the same reasons we've talked about? They didn't deserve to win the tournament. I mean, that was clear. Like they were fortunate against the Dominican Republic.
I think it also would have been different if, for example, Team USA in hockey, they lost that finals. It would have been different because the players wanted it that bad. I don't think it was the same with the baseball team.
There could be a trickle-down effect from that. But I just viewed it as the United States, they got outplayed in a number of games this tournament. And it was evident that not only did the players not care as much as the other teams, the other players are having way more fun. They're much more energized. The crowds are in favor. The United States, that was 80-20 Venezuela in Lone Depot yesterday, which is great. Great for the sport to see that type of energy. But, I mean, geez, it was a 50-50 would suffice.
Like, I have friends that didn't even give this tournament, baseball guys who didn't even give this tournament a chance. And so, you know what, man? I'm gonna join 80% of America with not caring what happens in this tournament. This will not be, I will not be a sad SOB the next time this tournament comes around.
Listen, I'm disappointed, but I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised.
I'm very surprised we didn't win that game.
I'm not surprised. They had no bit. They did the exact same thing that they did all tournament. They couldn't score. And so I'm not surprised that 2-3. We talked about it. Low scoring affair. 4-3, 3-2.
I expected us to be on the winning
swing.
end.
The United States could not get on base all game long. There were guys who uncharacteristically were terrible from the plate.
I'm the only one in the country who cares. I'll make sure not to be.
I don't think you're the only one.
I'll make sure not to be that guy next World Baseball Classic.
You're not the only one in the country.
I'll go to my Grandma Carol's and put on my Italy jersey. I'll go eat some titellini and watch it and root for Italy.
I think you're being a little unfair
because no one cares about the Americans in the World Baseball Classic apparently. So I'll go eat titellini at Grandma Carol's.
You're being a little dramatic about it. It's
just like I kept seeing, like, listen, like, fair play to where I'm at. Fair play to Venezuela.
Yeah, they earned that.
They earned it.
I have no problem.
But
with
like,
that.
I'm not sitting here today as an American going, so happy for Venezuela. I wanted to win that.
You want to win every single day? You don't even need to rely on the United States to actually care about the World Baseball Classic. Well, take it matters into your own hands. Talking about training, not just working out. I'm talking about training. F45 West Palm Beach helps you feel stronger, faster, more conditioned, and it means functional 45. It's a 45-minute high-intensity team training session. So like a bunch of like-minded individuals showing up to class-style workouts, 45 minutes in and out. You blink, and it's over. You don't even control. It's better when you can just turn your brain off and do the motions, do the workout, and then you walk out of there feeling mobile, feeling flexible, feeling stronger, faster, more conditioned. That's what they have. It's a team environment where experienced coaches are helping you, pushing you, taking you to your next level. Go get game ready with strength, endurance, whatever it may be. F45 West Palm Beach delivers. Right now, get 3 classes for just $30. Go to F45training.com/West Palm Beach. F45training.com/West Palm Beach. F45 Training, team training, life changing. 888-760-3776. Did you find yourself akin to Mike Rizzo? You cared a little too much about the tournament and you find yourself ultra disappointed today? Or does it not really impact your day that the United States lost this tournament last night against the Venezuela? 888-760-3776. Did it bother you that the fact that the United States did not win? Or do you find yourself, just another day? Let us know. 888-760-3776. Damian Perez, Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 1063.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar and Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Brent Lessie, partner and tax leader of Anshin's Consumer Products Group.
Did you know the One Big Beautiful Bill Act has created unprecedented opportunities for founders? The $10 million exclusion has increased to $15 million, and the 5-year holding period is no longer an all-or-nothing hurdle. Founders now have the flexibility to raise capital and align their tax-free treatment over 3, 4, or 5 years. These changes include the higher asset ceiling and allow founders and investors to scale aggressively while capitalizing on this tax advantage. Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, prioritizes understanding founders' unique circumstances to achieve their goals. If you're a founder that doesn't want to leave money on the table, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCU.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez filling in Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, streaming live on YouTube at ESPN South Florida. 888-760-3776. Did you find yourself distraught, crestfallen that the United States were not able to close out the World Baseball Classic last night in the championship against Venezuela? Or is it just another day? Does the tournament need a little more fine-tuning to pique your interest? 888-760-3776. Now I'm going to get into the program. We got Mike Rizzo. We got Damian Perez. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in sunny South Florida. We go to West Palm Beach. Ernie in West Palm. Welcome in. What do you got for us, Ernie?
Thank you, gentlemen, for taking my call. And I'll have to disagree with Mike Rizzo because I had a lot of interest in this series, in this tournament, because I am also Dominican as I am also American. So I had two teams to root for, and neither won. So yes, I am double disappointed. But as in terms of rooting interest, this was a phenomenal World Baseball Classic. They have to fine tune it in the sense of take out the umpires, put the ABS in. I mean, we don't need mistakes, especially on strikes and balls in critical situations. But besides that, it was a great game. It was a great tournament. You know, congratulations to Venezuela. But yeah, I'm disappointed, double disappointed because both of my teams lost.
Ernie, I'm done caring because my team doesn't care. That's all. The Americans did not care about this tournament, and they walked in to the championship, and they got smacked in the mouth for the second time in a row. Hence why I am done as an Italian-American. Listen, my heritage, I love being Italian, but I'm an American. I'm rooting for the Americans and the Americans only. I'm done caring about the tournament because our best players aren't playing in it, and the players don't care at all. I'm done with it. I'm completely done with it.
And you know what's funny? What's so funny about it is that they were fighting the fact that they were saying that the other teams are more excited. Even the Italians, like you just said, the Italians had their own celebration. Cappuccinos for everybody. I mean, come on. And the Americans are saying that they showed enthusiasm and excitement. I did not see that from the Americans as much as I saw from every other team in the World Baseball Classic. There was no team other than the Americans. The Americans are the most boring team. They didn't want to be there, and they didn't send their best. I mean, I say they did send their best, but they didn't play their best. Like you just said, Struble could have pitched last night. Yep. He could have. There was no reason for him to be sitting on it's all hands on deck. They should have thrown him and everybody else. You know, there's just no reason. Guys, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Ernie.
Appreciate it, Ernie. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah, Ernie's fired up. You know, I wonder who Ernie was rooting for on Sunday. And it's funny because he did say, I hope they get the ABS system organized because that last pitch that Mike Rizzo so valiantly claims.
Great frame job.
Great frame job.
It fooled the ump.
Huh?
It fooled the ump.
888-760-3776. Did you find yourself annoyed that the United States lost the World Baseball Classic? You were from the lot that says, you know what, just another day. Ernie was definitely fired up. Mike Rizzo was definitely fired up. Let's see what Winston has to say from West Palm Beach. Winston, welcome in. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I was rooting for America, but those guys, they just didn't have any passion. It seems like a lot of the times that the teams that they put together with all-stars don't do as good because they're not invested in each other. It's like when a freshman team of hot shot play like a team that's been playing together 3 or 4 years and they lose even though they're more talented and athletic, but they just don't have any cohesion, no chemistry. And then Americans, yeah, he's right. They were just acting like it don't matter. If we win, we win. If we don't care. We got our regular, real jobs to go to.
Appreciate the call, Winston.
Thanks,
and, you know, it's actually not a bad shout. It's akin to a bunch of 5-star freshmen that are not necessarily as comfortable playing with each other comparatively to some of these teams. They definitely had a little bit more chemistry, and chemistry on a baseball diamond is definitely a real thing. It sounds like you had a hodgepodge of these random all-stars, these assortment of all-stars that couldn't hit around each other, didn't necessarily complement each other.
You want to know what I dumb it down to? We're just not a baseball country. We're not a baseball country.
888-760-3776.
It's all right, not a baseball country. You don't want to try? You want to half-ass it? All right. Now we're not a baseball country.
What do you
Hope you're
say to
happy.
the fans that might live in the United States, have attachments to different countries, rooting for those said countries over the United States?
I'm a third-generation American. My grandfather, my pappy, Joe Rizzo, may he rest in peace, miss him every single day. He would have been rooting for Italy, and I would have been very upset with him. And I know him.
Why?
Because we're Americans. We were born here. Like, I get rooting for them until they play America. Like, you can root for them until they play the United States of America. We were born here. We're from here. That's my issue. Like, if you were born in said country and came over, fine, whatever. But like for Americans that were born here, I have an issue. I'm sorry.
40%,
we are Americans. We need to root for the United States of America.
So 40% of the Venezuelan population that resides in the United States resides in that Miami, Doral, that area, Fort Lauderdale, the the South Florida area. 40% of the national number. And you saw it last night. So you're saying all those fans should be rooting for the United States?
That's my opinion. If you were born here, and granted, I love my country. I don't know where people are at with their country. I love my country. I think it's the greatest country in the world. I'm an American. I'm rooting for USA Baseball. It's that simple to me.
888-760-3776. Go to Atlanta. Carter in Atlanta, welcome into the program. Carter, what's on your mind?
What's up, guys? I'm not big on the WBC. I'll tell you why. I think it's a little gimmicky. DeRosa can try to hide it. He didn't even know how it worked. These players don't really care. I think by far without question, they'd rather a World Series than a WBC, championship. I don't know if you guys saw, but Clayton Kershaw is getting a beer mid-game in the sixth inning. I think it was against Canada. And forgive me, Colin, I don't know your team. So let me ask you, Mike, this question. The Cleveland Guardians, would you rather them go to the playoffs next year, guaranteed spot, or win the WBC?
Let's put it this way, Carter. I don't care about this Mickey Mouse tournament anymore.
If he asked you this 2 weeks ago, what would you trade?
It would be a conversation. I'm admitting that it would be something I'd have to think about. But now I do not care. Nobody takes this tournament serious. Carter, my answer right now, March 18th, the Indians going to the playoffs, and it's not even close. I am done caring about this tournament.
That's not even the World Series.
You could lose.
They've lost in the playoffs my entire life. But right now, with how we handled this tournament and how everyone is telling me I'm overreacting and all my other fellow Americans laughing it off that we lost, you bet your bum I am taking the Indians to the playoffs.
Carter, what do you make of the other teams, the Venezuelas, the Dominican Republics of the world, Puerto Ricos, who played with a lot more passion? It was evident that they not only wanted to be there a whole lot more than the United States fans did, but the fans in the actual building showed up a lot more than the United States fans did. What do you make of that? Do you think that's necessarily a knock on the United States? Is there a trickle-down effect? What do you make of this?
I think it's ultimately more passion. You got to keep in mind that U.S., we have so many sports going on right now that I think it kind of distracts what people are looking at. I mean, exactly this weekend, you got great college basketball, you got golf, and I think these other countries that don't. This is their number one thing on right now. So I think that's where that passion comes from. So, I mean, I get it. It's just, I'm cheering for the U.S. Don't get me wrong. I love my country too, but I'm not losing sleep over us losing that tournament.
Carter, it's all right. Go to sleep knowing we're not a baseball country. Just be all right. We're not a baseball country. It is what it is.
Appreciate the call, Carter. Thank you for chiming in.
I'm very bitter today, if you can't tell. Very bitter. And I'm done. And this is the last day. This will be the last day I ever care about this
Would
tournament.
you trade a championship series appearance for a World Baseball Classic title?
Nope. Couldn't care less. Out of sight, out of mind. Whoop. In one ear, out the other.
What if I asked you this a week ago?
ALCS is tough. I already told you.
You're one of the Final Four.
I already told you I'd rather have an Indians World Series.
I don't blame you for that. That's 162 games.
But
that's 180 games worth. That's a 7-month process. I don't blame you for that.
The number one thing why I'm upset.
I would agree with that.
Colin, I think it is embarrassing the United States isn't winning in baseball. That's it. That's why I'm upset. top to bottom.
I think you're denouncing just how good some of these other teams are.
We have the best roster. Top
There's
to
no doubt
bottom.
about that.
Top to
But
bottom, we have the best
but
roster.
it's baseball. The
I
best
don't
roster
care.
doesn't win every single time.
I don't care. Listen, you know what? Was I upset the last time around? Sure. But you know what? Japan had their moment. We'll be back. There's no longer that for me. We're not a baseball country. We don't take this serious. All the kids playing the Olympics anyway. Kyle, the true professionals, they're professionals, but the really great ones don't play in the Olympics historically. So, like, this is the only thing we get to see our best players play in and represent our country, and they don't care about it. They're kiki and ha-ha and in the dugout down 8-1 to Italy.
888-760-3776. Did you find yourself distraught that the World Baseball Classic ended out in a losing effort from the United States, or would you have rather do you find yourself very crestfallen in the fact that the United States were not able to do it? Or, you know what? On to the baseball season we go. Mike Rizzo is done with the World Baseball Classic. Let's see where Colin in New Jersey stands. Colin, welcome in. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys. I am very disappointed about this. So, Mike, I have a question for you, Mike. Okay?
Okay.
If there's an opening in the Guardians, for manager, are you going to take Mark DeRosa as your manager?
I am not, partner. I am not.
You feel bad for DeRosa. You don't want to throw him a bone? He's looking for a job.
I just think, did he forget the rules? Should he never be allowed near our federation again? Absolutely. The only reason I felt bad for him in that championship game was because of how we couldn't hit Eduardo Rodriguez, who had a 5.32 ERA last year. That's it.
Well, go ahead. I don't know if you guys saw the press conference yesterday after the game. They asked him the question about Mason Miller not pitching. And obviously he gave the answer that safe situation, but the reporter put his feet to the fire about listen, it's not going to be a safe situation. Why did I pitch him one inning anyway? Anyway, he stumbled through the answer. So anyway, Mark DeRosa is the loser in this, and here in New York. If a Yankee job is available, if a Mets job comes available, we don't want them either. So, but I do think there's a win for baseball. So I am all in on the WBC. This is like an all-star game for the 1970s where they really want to win for the American League or the National League. So I think baseball really won yesterday.
Appreciate the call. Thank you for Colin for the call. 888-760-3776. I mean, when they asked DeRosa about it, he goes, I'm honoring what the Padres requested. Save opportunities. I understand traditional pitchers are used in a tie game at home in the ninth. I understand that. You're trying to extend the game, and extending the game favors the team with the more depth. The United States had more depth. He's handicapped by these other teams. I'm not going to pin the entire game on Whitlock, who has been good the entire tournament.
I'm not either.
I'm not pinning that on
And that's
DeRosa.
the first thing we said today is the easy take is DeRosa and Whitlock and Judge, but Judge deserves it. It's a correlation of
a 7-game stretch where the offense was not consistently good ever.
It's a correlation of being headlocked by these organizations to how to deploy these guys. It's Tarek Skubal, by far the best pitcher in the world, treating this like it's a Hollywood Springs vacation. Like he's on spring break. Oh, I guess I'll go.
And they did ask him.
I'll go and pitch.
They asked him after the fact, and he goes, hey, I was surprised. I was expecting a little bit of like an all-star type of beat. And actually, wow, people are into this.
I guess I'll go pitch against Great Britain. Like, go away. I'd rather us not show up. Let's not show up. Instead of getting embarrassed at a sport that we created.
All right, you're big on the sport that we created. There are good players on these other teams.
Let's just,
the Dominican lineup is better than the United States.
Save us as Americans the embarrassment of that pathetic display.
The Dominican 1 through 9 is stronger than the United States.
It's a pathetic display by that team. Save us it. It saved me being all upset and angry about it. Need a girlfriend, man.
You do?
I shouldn't be this upset about it.
That's our left turn?
I shouldn't be this upset about it. I texted my dad. I was all upset about it.
You're saying if you had a girlfriend, you'd be less upset?
It's funny because I was texting my dad, who was well asleep. He responded earlier to me in the morning, and he goes, bro, you need a girlfriend. Because I was speaking to the void, texting him, very upset that we blew that game last night.
We didn't blow the game.
We blew the game, but it's okay.
We didn't blow the game. We had no business being in the game.
It was
one swing of the bat is the only reason they were in.
You're a big believer in theme, magic, and mojo.
Fine.
We had all that after the Harper swing.
You stole the Dominican game, and you got burned against Venezuela.
We're not a baseball country. Live with that.
All right.
Live with that, Colin Russo, born in Connecticut. Live with that. You're not a baseball country.
while all these players are going back to the league in the United States.
It's all right. Every league needs a host nation.
Right? Well, if you're in a car accident, truck accident, you're pissed off like Rizzo, getting a little bit of a fender bender, going down 95, need somebody to defend you. That's where Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine come in at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. I know they got my back, and they can get yours too. They're just a phone call away, and they don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Go get the best. Go demand the best. Go demand Anajar and Levine. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez, Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
S is here, built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, save more on what goes into the job. Add power to your lineup with a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, and more. Get the job done right. Keep more in your pocket. That's Pro Savings Days. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Elias Bustamante of Deportes Radio. Coming in, Venezuela fan himself.
Said I'm a spoiled brat American in so many words, and I'm okay with that. Should be winning in baseball. I got no excuses. Team wasn't good enough. They didn't care. They should be winning in baseball.
Is Mike a spoiled brat American fan?
Yeah, I think he would fall into that category.
I'm fine with it. Should be winning baseball. That's it. That's all I got for you.
What about
and
the
you
teams?
should be caring. You should be caring enough to give your best effort.
What if they lost to Japan?
Should still be winning baseball.
Japan has pretty great baseball.
You want to know where I'm at this point? I rather of us not got to the knockout than do what we did last night.
Why?
I'd rather of us not gone because
That's a waste of time.
and then just lose in the championship. Like, I'm good on that.
How are you a Cleveland Guardian fan,
Oh,
and that's
dude.
your perspective? You rather never make the playoffs than make the run?
I rather of us lost in the
You're dead
first
wrong.
round.
You're dead wrong because
Then-
you get two. No. You get two sides to this.
And-
Because you have a team like the Browns who are never there, and you'd rather them make the postseason just for a chance at the dance. And you're telling me that the Guardians can
Different
never,
different
it's the same thing.
expectations.
It's the same concept.
But different. The Browns have never been good. The Indians, that's their MO. They make the playoffs every year and they fold like a lawn chair. That's why I have the different takes. With Team USA, Damien, yes, you're right. I'm a spoiled brat American. We didn't win this thing last year. You best believe I'm kicking and screaming we didn't win it the next year.
You know who you sound
Ridiculous.
like, Mike?
Who do I sound like?
The English after every World Cup.
You know what? Fine. I love my friends across the river. All right? Or get across the pond, as they say, across the river. I'm all over the place.
They claim it never comes home, by the way.
Yeah, and guess what? It's not coming home for us either. For the second time in a row. Because our players can't be,
They've won this thing once in 20 years.
Yeah, 2017. Because my players, I can't get them to care. Damien, we've had this take with the soccer team before. Those guys look like gladiators compared to what I saw this tournament, compared to the baseball players.
Now, the reason they lost last night is not because it was a lack of care, maybe a lack of energy, a lack of passion, but I won't say they lost because they weren't trying. They were trying.
You needed Scooble.
I agree with that. The pitching was a problem. I agree with that. But again, they didn't lose that game last night because they couldn't pitch. They lost that game last night because they couldn't hit.
And I think that has to do with the culture of the team. I think the expectation was that they were going to waltz in there and run rule every team. And I give Elias credit. That's what he said. He went in overconfident. Hell yeah, we did. I did. I saw that roster. I saw the pitching staff originally before Scooble decided, I'm only going to show up for a game. I saw that roster. I wasn't even worried. Didn't even bat an eye. And then sure enough, the tournament progressed. Scooble tucked tail and left. 4 other pitchers tucked tail and left. And all of a sudden, that loaded lineup couldn't hit. Couldn't hit against subpar pitching. I'm like, all right, we're in some trouble here. The culture of this team ain't right.
Pitchers that are pitching well.
My coach forgot that we weren't in the knockout round already. Like, what is that? What tone did we set on this team? They don't care. Hence, I will not care about this competition moving forward. No, I've said it all show, but I do not care. The World Baseball Classic, I'm with my boy Gomer, that Mickey Mouse joint. I won't watch a second of this the next time around. I can't wait for the real baseball to start in a week, in 9 days. Is it 8 days? 9 days. That's when baseball season starts, not this garbage that I had to watch last night.
Wow.
Very upset. Very upset. Very down. Very upset. Don't show up.
If you're not putting your best foot forward, I think your perspective on it is incorrect.
If you're not putting your best foot forward, don't show up and embarrass the flag. Do us a favor. Don't show up and embarrass the flag.
They embarrassed the flag because they lost to a good team?
I think the way they handled themselves throughout the tournament, they embarrassed the United States.
Now, there's something to that.
They embarrassed the United States.
You're actually onto something.
And I
not
think,
with the actual game. You're onto something with that.
And I think that game is a direct reflection of how they treated that tournament, and shame on them. I'd rather them not show up than do that.
You could say that they were due for a loss in the biggest stage because there was an argument to be made that the passion and the energy and the intensity wasn't there on the United States side.
And you think
that I can agree with.
You think you would have learned your lesson when you lost to Japan, the last time. And now we're sitting here with the same thing. God forbid Aaron Judge hit a home run, when it counted.
So, I mean, we could point fingers at DeRosa. We could point fingers at this, that. There was a team effort of a bunch of guys who couldn't hit, and the one game that they could hit a little bit, they gave up 8 runs as a spot to Italy.
I've never seen anything like Aaron Judge, a career like Judge, and a player like
Unbelievable
Judge.
player. Now you know what it's like for a Yankee fan. That happens every year with the Yankees.
The only person I could think of is the great Dan Marino, but Marino had moments in the playoffs. Like, Marino was good in the playoffs. Judge isn't good. You can't compare to Judge to anybody in sports.
Josh Allen. Josh Allen's a pretty good postseason player, but Connor McDavid.
Okay, fine. You got me beat.
You got me.
But didn't he lead the team?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, he is a big spots. The biggest moment of his career is winning the 4 Nations in overtime. That's the biggest moment of his career.
At least they're able to, win the sport they created.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre. He's got a little playoff just shortcomings constantly. He's got a little Josh Allen, a little Connor McDavid to it, but it is a theme. And he was great last year in the postseason. I'm not pinning this all on Judge, but Judge is the captain. Judge was terrible yesterday. You can absolutely pound Judge for his performance throughout the postseason, throughout this tournament. Now you're going in, and he's gonna have 13 home runs in the first 2 weeks of the year, and we're like, oh, Judge is back. Can he do it in October? That's the real question.
Yeah.
Mike Rizzo, Colin, Russo, Damian Prez. We'll do a little 5 and 5. It is NCAA tournament time. We'll put together let's put together a bracket as a team. We'll do that eventually on the second hour as we enter onto it. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Good people. It's Theo Dorsey, and time is running out for spring training at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. So don't miss your chance to see the Miami Marlins and St. Louis Cardinals take the field in Jupiter. Visit online to view the schedule and to see the full lineup of special promotions and events. And be sure to check out the brand new Jupiter Medical Center Champions Club. Tickets, groups, suites, mini plans, VIP experiences, and more are all on sale right now at RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com. College basketball is heating up, and the tournament is here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get game ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. EDS Air Conditioning is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsyes.com today.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 27 national championships, including their 3rd championship in women's soccer. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship athletic programs at Kaiser University.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America.
33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years.
Colin Russo, Damian Perez, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat away and done with. Goodbye. Good riddance. No, I'm just kidding. Christian Cat taking another opportunity with ESPN Milwaukee, so he will no longer be with Russo and Rizzo on a day-to-day basis. He is going to start in ESPN Milwaukee next week, and his last show ever with ESPN West Palm was earlier today, again with Theoretically Speaking with Theo Dorsey and Christina Costanza, where they had an emotional, valiant goodbye. A farewell, so long, friend, show at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, just up north of here in Jupiter. You know what's funny? I'll tell you this. Nobody text him. I would bet you right now, because, Christian probably left about 20 minutes ago from Jupiter. He's not at Vero yet. Vero is where the signal runs out. There is no chance he's listening right now.
No way.
Christian, if you are, please prove me wrong and call.
Right? He's not listening.
You got 5 minutes.
To be fair, I didn't expect it.
He's not listening.
He's on to the next chapter of his life.
He's moved on.
Yeah.
He's not going to think about you and I forever.
I don't know. I'm sure if Ohio State or UConn does something, he'll.
No one's thinking about Ohio State. No one cares.
I think I love that clip. Pending one of our teams, he'll think of if the Jags do something, if the Browns do something, yeah, he'll think of us. But
I don't know.
I mean, the fact that he couldn't muster up one memory.
We asked him yesterday on our last show. Christian, what was your favorite memory of Russo and Rizzo? I don't know.
And you know me, I like giving friends the benefit of the doubt. This is a tough look, Christian.
Not a single good memory?
We drove him crazy, didn't we?
Hated every day with us?
We drove him nuts.
Wow. Too bad. Well, what's not too bad is when you need to get a loan on your house, or you need to go put money away, make sure you get good interest rates on it. That's where Flagler Credit Union comes in.
And, folks, that's exactly what my good friends at Flagler Credit Union can do. If you need to take out some cash for a new car, home improvements, if you and the missus want to do a getaway, want to go on a vacation, I know everyone, you all got kids in school, college. If you need some fast cash for whatever you want to do in life, think of Flagler Credit Union, because they're a non-for-profit cooperative, which in fancy terms means they're going to be able to charge less when you need to borrow some money. So keep Flagler Credit Union in mind if you need to do something like that. They also offer personal and business checking accounts. I have a personal checking account and a savings account with my good friends at Flagler Credit Union. 4 convenient locations around Palm Beach County: Boca Raton, Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, and West Palm Beach. Flagler Credit Union is the official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics. You could open up an account today by visiting flaglercu.org or stopping by one of those 4 locations. My good buddy Brian with Flagler Credit Union, he went to Miami of Ohio. He's going to be tuned in to that big game coming up, that play-in game with Miami of Ohio and SMU. I'm looking forward to that as well. But, folks, think of Flagler Credit Union for all of your banking needs. And as Kyle mentioned, if you need some money, think of them, because they'll be able to charge less.
Let's do a little 5% by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Rory McIlroy revealed his Masters menu, and it includes the following: filet mignon or seared salmon for the main course, grilled elk sliders, and bacon-wrapped dates among the appetizers, and finished off with a sticky toffee pudding for dessert. What would an ideal Russo and Rizzo menu look like?
Volume. Whatever it is, a lot of it if you're going to make a master's menu. As much as you possibly can. I'm a big eater. Now, I'm a simple eater. I like, chicken parm, pasta, kick things off with a good appetizer of the seafood variety. Add a little, a left turn if you need to get something else in there, if you want to add a steak, and then go something big on the dessert.
Yeah, dude, I'm not far off that. What I would literally do is, my mother's the best cook I know. I would literally just have my mother cook all of my Nana's recipes. The veal parm, the chicken parm, the famous sauce brought off the boat from Palmero, Sicily. Like, we would do the whole Italian feast if I were to set up a dinner like that, like an honorary dinner like that, and everybody would leave full. Colin, just like you, as you know, I am a big eater as well. I could put it away with the best of them. Sadly, it's a curse of mine. If I didn't overeat, I'd be 175 pounds. But regardless, Italian all the way. My mother would be cooking all the food too.
Damien, what would you put on your menu? What's the main thing? You know what I'd put? I'd have to have, I'm a big fan of these, the cookie skillets with the ice cream. You know what I'm talking about?
We, the
Huge fan.
bar that I worked at, Colin, was our most popular item at night.
Great.
Yeah, they're
Excellent.
unreal.
I think sliders are a must, and anything that's like easy to eat. You don't want to get messy with it. So
But
for
it is
me,
a dinner. You're putting together a dinner.
yeah, but you're also at an event.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know, but sliders for me a must.
Now, guys, I gotta say, elk, I'm all good on that, dude.
That's a Northern Ireland coming out of it.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
And listen, one of my best friends, Ryan, him and Big Bob, they're big hunters. They love venison, dude. Venison, elk, too gamey. It tastes way too gamey. The only gamey meat that I can really do and like is bison. It's about it. But
I don't think I've ever had I've had venison a number of times.
Bison's good.
I don't think I've ever had bison.
Venison and elk, way too gamey, way too dry.
Have you had
I'm
alligator
out.
since you've been down?
Oh, God. What a waste of time. I'll never eat an alligator.
Have you had an
Sounds
alligator
disgusting.
before, Damien?
I have not.
What a waste
Neither
of
have I.
time.
That's on the list.
No, thank you.
I feel like it'll be chewy. I don't know.
I'd say chicken.
Good on gator, good on frog legs. Trying to think what else is a delicacy down here. You and I both think caviar is an absolute waste of time.
Total
Apparently
waste of time.
iguana.
Oh,
You
God.
can eat an iguana?
Oh, God.
Apparently.
Apparently, wow.
I told you what my Auntie
you
Amy
can eat
does.
anything, I guess, right? Yeah.
My Auntie Amy, those iguanas, when they come to the pool deck, shoots them in the face. We don't do iguanas.
Invasive. I mean, a lot of people do that.
You'd be doing everybody a favor.
Yeah, and that's what they told me. I'm like, Auntie Amy, I don't think you could be killing those things. And she explained to me that, like, they're overpopulated.
I don't know if it's fair game to just start hunting them for sport, but I do know they're an invasive species. What's number 2?
Number 2.
Alex Caruso on OKC got creative last night on defense after he did the following.
Hand, shoe in the hand, he's going to swing at it, hits the ball with his shoe.
Kirkland and Tyler Ricks. I think because he swatted at the ball with his shoe.
Yeah.
It's a technical foul and a basket. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
That's right, Alex Caruso getting a tech for swinging and hitting the ball with a shoe on his hand. Is this worth a tech, or should we applaud his creativity?
I think he should be fine with this. This happens once in a while, right? Like, I mean, I understand the technicality part of it, and they just got to punish it. That's the only way we know how. People are not going to do that. It's like when Mike Miller had lost his shoe in the Heat game, and he hit like 4 threes in a row without a shoe on. Oh, that was great. Stuff like that. I mean, that's fun whenever that happens.
Caruso is a scrappy player. He's actually an NBA player that I tremendously respect because he actually plays defense. I don't have an issue with him doing this. It was, if anything, it made light of a terrible season for the NBA.
Number 3.
Max Crosby shed some light on the Ravens situation after the trade with the Raiders fell through on his podcast yesterday. And Mike, you actually sent me a few audios.
So boys, Crosby joined the Rush podcast. Brogan Roback and Darian Terrell. And I got 3 clips for you. Let's listen to the first one because Max Crosby explains how the Ravens basically told him, listen, there might be something going on with your knee.
Then I talked and I dap him up, and I could just tell like the energy was a little bit off. And the GM was standing in like the hall, like in the room next to me to the right. And that was the first time I seen him.
okay, I'm not thinking anything of it. Maybe he's just different. I don't know him, whatever. I go into the room, they sit me down on the couch, and he's like, man, I don't know how to say this, but, one of our doctors has concerns with the results and whatever, and like with your knee. And, we really want you, and this is what it is, but, we're just going to have to get more and more opinions. I was terrified because I'm thinking in my head, like, what the Like, I just had, like, Neil Elitrosh, best surgeon in the country, like, the best of the best. He's done all my surgeries for the most part. Like, that's my guy. I haven't even got to talk to him, or I hadn't got to talk to CJ at that point. So it just kind of hit me. I'm like, what the is there something wrong? Like, I'm freaking out.
So a couple of things there before we get to the next one. It was Jesse Minter, the head coach, that broke the news. Hey, our doctors found something. There might be something up with the injury. And he did not see the GM. He was there for 5 hours and did not see the GM until that moment. CJ is his agent. All right, let's move on to the next one because he mentioned his doctor, Neil, who's the best around. Here's Crosby talking about after that conversation, he called his doctor.
Then I talked to Neil, and Neil calls me, and he called me way down. He's like, Max, don't listen to any of that. He's like, your knee is great. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, or even ahead of schedule. He's like, you're doing everything right. He's like, they know you had your surgery 9 weeks ago. It's obviously, if you get an MRI, he's like showing me the actual literature of like, this is where it needs supposed to be at from a meniscus repair. Like, you're doing everything right. Everything's going well. We're going to keep sticking to the plan. He's like, you will be back by training camp. That has been the timeline since the beginning. That hasn't changed.
So, Colin, after he calls his doctor, him and his wife, they go out and get some dinner, and then the awkwardness started to set in.
And it's crazy because their guy like called me. One of the Ravens guys called me and was like, yo, we're trying to figure this out. We're gonna get this done. Don't worry. Like 5 minutes later, CJ calls me. It's like, they're backing out. I'm like, holy. So I'm like frozen. I'm like, what the? I'm livid. I told him, I'm like, I'm trying to get out of here, bro. Like, what the? And CJ called, and the Ravens are like, no, they'll send a jet. Like, they got a bigger one tonight. They'll send you back tonight in like an hour and a half if you guys can get ready. I'm like, start packing. Let's go. Yeah. So we packed all our and literally it's the same thing as when I got the trade call. I got a call. I literally, as I was getting off the phone with CJ, ticker, trade with Max Crosby's off on my phone. My starts blowing up. I'm like, here we go. So
also need to know, Kyle, before I get your reaction, it was very hard for them to get there. They flew commercial. They flew first class, a 5-hour flight, but they flew somewhere which they had to drive 2 more hours to Baltimore. So to get there, they did 7 hours of travel, and then that whole ugly situation happened. And then after the ugly situation, that's when they decided to fly him back on a jet. Is this not one of the stranger stories you've seen in a long time when it comes to free agents in NFL?
Yeah, I wonder what that was. Maybe they flew him into D.C. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, I think it was D.C. because if that's what it takes, 2 hours
90
to Baltimore.
minutes, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened. They flew him commercial to Baltimore. To D.C. instead of Baltimore. And then they drove him in. Weird situation. I'm glad he's shedding light on it. If anything, we talked about it. This just reflects poorly on the Ravens. It will continue to reflect poorly on the Ravens. I don't know how general managers and front offices respond to these types of things. And what I mean by this is like operating in bad faith. You knew that he had a meniscus repair. In a lot of ways, this was in my read, this was an excuse just to pull out of a trade deal that you got cold feet on. And you realize, oh, you got his meniscus repaired. This can technically be a void. We can get out of this. But you hurt the Raiders in a weird way because they have to change how they're going to do their off-season stuff because of it. Their salary cap situation changes. They have 2 less draft picks. So I'm glad he's shedding light on it. Very strange situation. And it sounds like these guys are so bad with confrontation and having difficult conversations for guys that are getting paid so much money in these front offices, these coaches who are so experienced, who have been in so many rooms. They're like avoiding players and they don't want to talk about it. And all of a sudden they have to tell you at the end, like, isn't that bizarre? Like,
yeah.
You guys should be better at these conversations.
I agree. And the GM, Colin, the GM didn't even speak to him, didn't even look at him in the face. It was Jesse Minter, first-year head coach. Like, I'm sure Jesse has probably had some ugly conversation. He worked for the cheater Jim Harbaugh. You think he had to go through some stuff? Absolutely.
Apparently, he was on the phone with Trey Hendrickson while Max Crosby was in the building.
And I think that's what happened, Colin. They figured out that, hey, Trey's only going to cost this, and we're not going to have to give up anything for him. I think it's as simple as that.
And then they got cold feet on it.
And I know you disagreed with me, but I agree with ESPN Cleveland's own Tony Grossi when he said if the Browns or the Raiders tried to pull out of a trade like this, they'd never let it happen. I think the NFL gave the Ravens the benefit of the doubt, and this is an ugly situation for Baltimore.
I don't know about that. I don't think they're giving favoritism to the Ravens. I don't.
This is a trade that already went through. They're clear, in my opinion, after hearing Max Crosby talk about his process and his meniscus, there's nothing wrong with the injury. He's going to be ready to go for training camp. So what they said about the injury failed a physical. That's a load of baloney. Yeah, okay, that is a load of baloney. I can't stand the Ravens. Can't stand them.
Remember they did this with Lamar Jackson with the injury report stuff last year, and they didn't know whether he was healthy or not, and they were not operating in good faith in that regard. I know that was more of a Harbaugh thing. But the Lamar contract, they didn't know whether they were going to trade him or not. They operated in bad faith there. They never could figure that out. And that's when Lamar represented himself.
Him and his
just
mother.
It's just bad situations. I mean, for such a well-run organization in terms of the on-field play, just a lot of bolts and screws loose on the outside of it. But
yeah. And ultimately that is a team that, thieved a team from a very prideful town, too.
Number 4.
On the hockey front, Team USA did come through with a gold medal in the past Winter Olympics, unlike the baseball team. And hero Jack Hughes scored the game-winning goal, has expressed his desire to own the puck he scored with, but the Hockey Hall of Fame says no go.
Wow.
That belongs with us. Who should own that memorabilia, considering how big of a goal that was that pretty much delivered Team USA a gold medal?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the logistics behind it, but they can't throw that kid the puck. They really can't throw that kid the puck.
I mean, this reminds me of...
I understand why they're saying this is ours. I understand.
Remember, this reminds me of home run balls. You know what I mean? Like, you could sell that. Like, if you're a fan and you get that, like, I don't blame you if you're pocketing.
Hall of Fame?
That's the point I'm trying to make. I think it's bad faith that they won't give it to him personally. And I would understand more if it was a fan if he wanted to sell it for some cash. This isn't that situation. They should give him the puck.
I agree. Put a mock in there.
They should give him the
puck.
puck.
Put another puck from the game. And then there's 1,000 pucks used that day. You don't use the game winner one. Get that to Hughes. That's more memorabilia to him. That's more important to him.
Yeah.
And nobody's checking it at the Hockey Hall of Fame.
And I appreciate the American hockey team going all out and putting their best foot forward.
Number 5.
The World Baseball Classic wrapped up last night with Venezuela beating the U.S. 3-2 in the final. Some have pushed back, saying that the tournament should be moved to the All-Star break. What is the right time for the World Baseball Classic, in your opinion, to be held?
Yeah, my personal opinion is that I think March is fine for what it is. I mean, it's definitely been a success. It's been a lot of fun of a tournament, and they can do this again in 2 years, and it'll work. But if you really want to make it perfect, I actually do think the mid-year All-Star break replacement could work. Now, All-Star break would be longer than what it usually is. Instead of about a week, it'll be, 10 days. And it puts a lot of difficult, strenuous nature on the players that are willing to do it. But I actually do think that would be a perfect little hiatus from play. And it will be easier to get pitchers involved because pitchers want to stay warm. Yeah, the couple days off helps them, but they ultimately want to stay into a rhythm a little bit. I actually think that the mid-year, if they can figure it out, it might be a CBA thing, it might be a Players Association thing, it just might be a World Baseball Classic thing. I actually think getting rid of what they do in terms of the All-Star break and replacing it with the World Baseball Classic once every 2 years, make it a little longer every other year, I actually think that would do a lot of have a lot of success for the Major League Baseball.
Damian, what was the question?
If you think the game should be moved to the All-Star break rather than where it's played right now.
2 things. Colin is 100% right. I will take it a step further. Get rid of the All-Star game that no one cares about and just do international play then. I think that solves a lot of issues. My personal opinion, with my beloved United States team not caring to bother to show up or care or put their best foot forward in this tournament, I'm all good, man. I'm out on the World Baseball Classic. I'm done with the World Baseball Classic.
Being a little tough on it.
I am taking the side of all my friends in my baseball group chat. It is a meaningless tournament, and shame on me for caring from the start about something that doesn't matter. I am coping, 110% coping, but at the same time, I'm done caring about the tournament because my country, who invented the game, doesn't mind not being a baseball country. And that was the 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
If you missed any of the show today, go listen back on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Just go to Russo and Rizzo. We're streaming live on YouTube at ESPN South Florida and ESPN West Palm on Twitter and Facebook. NCAA tournament time. Let's, as a group, the three of us, Colin, Mike, and Damian, put together a bracket. We'll do that on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
My morning has two speeds. It starts fast, then it relaxes when I arrive at McDonald's and order an Egg McMuffin extra value meal for just $5. Because that's all I need to start my day off right. A tasty, warm Egg McMuffin, crispy golden hash browns, and a small premium roast coffee. And with a breakfast this good for just $5, I feel relaxed for the rest of the day. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Promotional pricing may be lower than meal pricing.
I used to talk about the weather as small talk. Now I talk about McValue deal days at McDonald's. A hamburger or cheeseburger for just 69 cents on Sundays and Wednesdays. I'm chit-chatting for days. A 6-piece chicken McNuggets for 99 cents on Mondays. Catch me yapping all day, dude. I'm not even mad about it. You want the deals? You need the app. Get 99-cent McNuggets and 69-cent hamburgers or cheeseburgers only in the app. These deals will definitely give you something to talk about. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Valid Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays in January and February at participating McDonald's. Valid once per day. Must opt into rewards.
Banyan Printing, your trusted partner for all your printing and signage needs. With 48 years of local service, over 1,000 customers choose Banyan for fast turnaround, free delivery, consistent results, and market-leading customer service. Banyan's all-in-one solution saves businesses time and resources. From business cards and brochures to direct mail services and signage, they eliminate the hassle of multiple vendors. If you're unsure you're getting the best service or value, visit banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Yair Holtzman, partner and leader of Anshin's Research and Development Tax Credits Group.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act restored full expensing of domestic research and development expenditures, allowing businesses to deduct qualifying costs immediately or choose among different tax treatments. Beginning with tax years after December 31st, 2024, special elections for small businesses can be applied retroactively. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help businesses develop a proactive tax plan, identify qualified activities and expenses, and optimize cash flow and tax benefits. If your business is investing in U.S.-based R&D and looking to maximize incentives while remaining compliant with tax law, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Come to Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium on Saturday, March 21st for Pickleball Day, presented by Florida Power and Light. Purchase a special game day package which includes a reserved box ticket, a Cardinals and Marlins pickleball paddle, and a chance to meet and greet the Palm Beach Royals pickleball team as part of a pregame clinic on the concourse. After the game, kids can run the bases and everyone can enjoy a post-game concert. Purchase your Pickleball Day package at
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
NCAA tournament time. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. We are, 18 hours away from the start of the NCAA tournament. The Thursday of that NCAA tournament, which in my opinion is a top sports day of the year. Very much looking forward to that. Office productivity around the country is going to plummet because that's just how it goes on those first 2 days. Sort of like when it was in school, too. Second, the games would start whether you're in Central Time or Eastern Time, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and you just, that's it. And they got a great, and one thing about the NCAA tournament is the March Madness Live website does a great job.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the best.
That's a great website, great app. They do a great job with that.
Now, Damian, in middle school, obviously we couldn't swing writing fake notes and we didn't have cars. So like when I got to high school, we would just leave and we would go all day and watch. But in middle school, God bless the teachers who would wheel in the TV and let me watch some March Madness. Damian, do you remember the TV on wheels?
The big square.
My
Teachers
God,
would get it.
amazing.
Teachers would get it.
Yes,
yeah, some teachers
yes.
would get it. They'd understand that, like, listen, I'm not getting their attention anyway, and might as well give them what they want.
Mrs. Thomas, she was one of my goats that did that. Mr. Mark Beck, he did that as well. Because you got to keep in mind, I went to a Catholic school for 9 years too, and they don't screw around there, But like you had a couple of teachers that would throw us a bone and let us watch some March Madness. Colin, I follow the great thing on Instagram. It's an account that reminisces on old starting lineups in national championship games. I ran into the Ohio State 2017 with Ron Lewis, Mike Conley, Greg Oden, Jamar Butler.
Yeah, right.
They played that great Florida team that ended up going back to back. I mean, tournament time for me, I guess, as I get in my older age, you go down memory lane and
more
you
about
just
nostalgia.
you go through all the great moments that you had with your bracket and your teams.
Let's make a bracket as a group, and we'll see how good we do. Now, how we're going to do this is we all need to agree, and if we disagree, we're going to need to, we need to come up with a theme. So I think a couple things. If you're going to make a bracket, you need to have a couple things. You need to have a bracket winner, right? So it can't just be chalk the whole way. You need to have somebody in the Elite Eight somewhere, Sweet 16, where if that happens, you're going to get some much-needed points and you're going to be in a good spot.
So
right?
last year for me, it was UConn. I had UConn defeating Florida, and they became dangerously close to doing
you need
that.
a bracket winner.
Yeah, so I'm okay with finding that. I think what you're saying, Colin, we got to figure out a 1 seed to eliminate. I think that's where we start.
You want to do that? All right, so here's our – we'll go region by region, all right? So let's do the East first. Damian, feel free to chime in. East region, Duke over Siena. We're agreeing with that? And
Absolutely.
no 16s are winning.
None. I don't even want to consider it.
Damian, how do you feel about Ohio State TCU in an 8-9 game?
I actually got Ohio State winning this game.
I think they.
I would agree. I think Ohio State will win too.
And you watched them play Michigan with me. I think they are one of the better teams in the country right now.
All right. St. John's, Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa is a popular pick.
You know what my hot take is? I know 12-5 is such a popular upset. I think the fives are going to go 4-0. Wow. And I think that, I don't know if that was the last time that's happened, but my perspective on that is I think every 5 is underseeded.
Texas Tech, Vanderbilt, Wisconsin, and St. John's.
Yeah.
That's the popular one. I'm never a fan.
You saw St. John's last Saturday.
Here's my issue. Everyone's
They got a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, you saw St. John's.
I disagree with the take of you got to take a 12. Why? I don't got to take.
I
a 12.
agree. I would say the 11s are much more popular this year comparatively to a 12.
Let's take St. John.
Kansas, Cal Baptist.
God, I hate that Kansas team. I can't.
They'll win this game.
I can't pick a 13 though. I know you're high on maybe a 13 winning this year.
Not that one.
Okay.
No, I don't know enough about Cal Baptist. Now, Louisville, South Florida. This is the most popular upset.
I got an upset here.
This is the most popular upset in the entire bracket.
What player did they?
Mikael Brown, their best player.
We're going with South Florida.
I agree.
We're going with South Florida.
Brian Hodgson, who is their coach, who might get the Providence job after this conclusion of the season. Michigan State, North Dakota State. Now, I am down on Michigan State. It's an Izzo in March. I'm not willing to take North Dakota State here, but I do not like Michigan State to make the second weekend.
Okay.
That's my hot take.
Well, we're taking Izzo there.
UCLA, UCLF. I think UCLA.
I got UCLA.
Dangerous team. That's my personal.
Yeah, I wasn't really big on UCF. I guess I want to take a 10. I do want to take a 10. Keep that in mind.
All right, we remember Santa Clara plays
Yeah.
Kentucky. I know you won't like that, but there's some other ones.
Listen, Pope stinks and he needs
All right,
to be
UConn's
fired.
going to beat Furman too. We're going to finish this. We're going to get to the Final Four. All right.
Okay.
Duke, Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State's winning that one.
Sadly,
They don't match up well.
Well, here's the thing. I'll make this quick. Michigan, it reminds me a lot of Duke with their size.
Yeah, they're
Ohio
just huge.
State, they went 0-3 against
I
Michigan.
agree.
Let's take Duke.
That's going to be a tough game to win.
Let's take Duke. I want
St. John's, Kansas.
I want St. John.
St. John's.
Not
I got
even a
St.
question.
John's here.
I want St. John's to play Duke. That's what I want.
Patino burned me. Keep in mind, Patino burned me last year.
They're going to be motivated because of that.
Burned me.
Because of that. I agree with you.
Burned
Yep.
me.
South Florida, Michigan State. This is where I would take USF.
You really want Izzo's made the second weekend like 6 years in a row.
I'd have to check the
They can't
numbers
beat-
there.
they
I know
can't beat
he's a great.
USA.
They're a
he's
great tournament
You're
team,
telling
too.
me they can't beat them? With all due respect, I know we have the South Florida fan, one of our loyal listeners who listens on our YouTube streams, the South Florida man. Bro, they're not losing it. Am I nuts on that? I think Kalen Carr and Fears alone probably wins that game. No? Sell me on it.
They got the second round. They got to the second round, 22, 23, 24. They got to the second round in 21, 22, but that's when they were a 7 seed and 9 seed, respectively. Last time they were a 3 seed or above was last year, of course, where they made the regional final. They were the national semifinal. The second round is a 3 seed. I mean, they're always good. I weirdly enough, the reason I like USF is, more importantly, it's my anti-Michigan State. I think this Michigan State team's very pedestrian. They rely on Jeremy Fears and a whole lot of nothing. Listen, I'm fine with it, but we're going to need, this is chalk to this point.
I'm fine with chalk. It's the NIL era. Cinderella's dead. Let's take Michigan State. And then I think UConn.
I would agree with this.
UConn by a significant margin against UCLA.
Yep.
And all right, Duke, St. John's.
I'm
going Duke.
I think
I got Duke.
All right, I want to establish one thing. Duke's probably going to be my champion.
I would root
They're
for
probably going to be my champion.
My personal champion is Arizona, but I don't care.
We're
what
big.
direction
You and
it
I
goes.
both, not to go too into it. I know nobody really knows what the hell KenPom is. Just know the last 15 years, there's been one team, according to KenPom rankings, that fit the criteria that haven't been a national championship winner, and it was one of your UConn teams. KenPom's very important when determining a champion, and Duke falls under those criterias.
UConn over Michigan State,
Yes.
and then Duke to beat UConn.
I want to take your team.
I want to take UConn as well, but I think UConn.
For me, it's Duke. I'm going to have Duke winning in my personal
I got
one.
Duke winning this one.
Listen, if you two,
All right, two out of three, fine.
Hang
you
on.
guys won 2 out of 3.
All right,
I would say let's go with UConn here, but I understand. I have no problem with that. I don't think a UConn team is very pedestrian comparatively. All right, next round, the South region. We have Duke coming out of our East region. South region, Florida, obviously to beat the 16. Clemson, Iowa.
I hate this game. I don't know. Flip a
Now,
coin.
Clemson is
Flip
the
a coin.
slowest defense in the country. They force teams to play slow, but Iowa is bottom of the list in terms of slowest teams in the country.
I think, Colin,
I think this is Iowa's game to win.
this is a flip of a coin. I rather being Big Ten Mike.
one's thinking about Ohio State.
I rather go with Iowa.
Damien?
I actually have Clemson winning this one.
I like Iowa here.
It's
I
Iowa.
think we should
2-1.
pick Iowa here.
Pick is Iowa.
And I've watched a lot of Iowa this year. They haven't been great against great teams, but they slow things down, and they have an experience. Remember, this is the Drake team last year who won the first round of the tournament.
And this is an Iowa team that hasn't been out of the first round in a long time. That's why they got rid of McCaffrey.
Vanderbilt and McNeese.
I'm not buying that.
I'm not doing McNeese the second time.
I'm not either. The boombox, the whole thing. Give us Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt.
Damien, you agree?
Yeah, Vanderbilt's actually been really good.
Really good.
And they're underseeded. You mentioned all the fives are underseeded.
Underseeded. Nebraska, Troy.
I like Troy.
You know the thing about Troy? They do not take elevators.
Nebraska is. Wait, what?
You heard me. Their whole mantra, whole year, they don't take elevators. They take the stairs everywhere.
Now, I was going to tell you.
Damien, they take the stairs everywhere.
Now, I was going to say Nebraska's never won a tournament game. You know
Neither
that?
is Troy.
You got me.
No, I know. Listen, I understand.
wanted to take
that will
it
be an
13.
important game for Nebraska, but Troy's a popular one. I don't think Nebraska is great. They're good defensively. They were better in the beginning of the year than they are now. I like Troy here. I have no problem with that.
I wanted to take 113, and I think this is it.
All right, I can live with that. Troy, VCU, I would say over North Carolina. Another very popular pick.
I like VCU.
North Carolina's without Caleb Wilson, who's their best player.
North Carolina burned me with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet 2 different times this year, pretty bad. I'm going VCU.
All right, so if you want to change Nebraska and Troy for whatever reason, the only way I would consider doing it is if you have Penn beat Illinois. Mike's not going to like
No
this.
chance. Fran McCaffrey's not beating Underwood.
Damien?
I got Illinois winning that
No. You don't want to have Penn?
No.
You don't like the Ivies? You hate our scholars?
Never said that. Who won a couple of years? It was like
Yale won last year. 2
and-
years ago, they beat Auburn.
I had Yale, and then the year Princeton won when I was in college, I had that Princeton pick too. But no, dude, Illinois is too good. They play no defense.
That's the problem.
But I think the quality of the European player that they have, they'll win this game. Like, all right, if you want to take VCU over Illinois, I'm not going to like it.
T.J. Power. You remember the name.
Well, yeah, he followed McCaffrey from Iowa, right?
No, he was a Kansas guy. He was the 11th best player in the country coming out of high school. He was a 5-star. And he's playing at Penn. And I don't know how McCaffrey, he was not from Iowa.
I was watching that Ivy League championship. Didn't he foul out and started to cry?
No, that was a different guy.
Okay, so.
Power had 46 points in the Ivy League championship. Just remember the name. Fine. You want to take Illinois?
We're taking
Fine.
Illinois.
Well, when TJ Power apparently he has the flu too, so I don't know how I feel about that. But all right, St. Mary's A&M. This is another weird game.
I think the SEC is tremendously overrated, but I would go A&M. Why? Because St. Mary's beat a bad Gonzaga team?
Here's what you need to know about A&M. A&M is the fastest team in the SEC. They press the whole game. They play Bucky McMillan their first year of the coach. Remember, he replaced Buzz Williams. And they press the whole game. They a lot of shots, a lot of possessions. And St. Mary's is the opposite of that. So if it's a track meet, favor A&M. If it's going to slow down, favor St. Mary's.
I don't rate that Mickey Mouse conference. Give me the SEC and A&M.
I'm with A&M too. I think St. Mary's actually got pummeled by Vanderbilt earlier in the season. That was probably their one test when we compare it to the SEC.
Yep.
And they did not pass.
Houston's playing Idaho. Idaho is the representative from the Big Sky. I hate that conference. Houston's going to win that game by 165 points.
We're northern Arizona. Okay.
That's it.
All right.
That's the one.
All right.
So we got Florida and Iowa.
Florida. You want Iowa, don't you? Is this where we get rid of a 1 seed? Now, keep in mind, Damian Perez, that's his squad.
Florida won't lose to Iowa. I think their loss in the SEC championship was kind of like their wake-up call.
I'm not high on the SEC. You could talk me into this, so talk me into it.
I'm just saying.
I'm not high on
Arizona,
any
Michigan,
SEC
Duke.
team.
We can't have 1-1-1-1. And I think, how about this? I don't think Florida's going to make the Final Four, and I think I'm going to die on that hill. Why do I say that? Because, Damien, you're not going to like this. The Elite Eight and the Sweet 16 is in Houston. It's where the Rockets
Right
play.
next to them.
Houston, it's a home game. It's 3 miles from the arena.
Now, could it be Michigan? Michigan doesn't have a go-to player in the stretch. That's what I worry about.
Easier draw. We'll get to that when we get there.
Okay, but
Florida will win this game.
Okay.
Vanderbilt and Troy.
Vandy.
Vanderbilt. Yep.
All right. Do you want a rematch of the SEC? VCU, Illinois.
I
would listen to VCU.
I say Illinois.
We're going to need somebody to make a Sweet 16 run. Who's it going to be?
We don't need Colin. It's NIL era and the era of
Mike,
the chalk.
we're going to have a double-digit
Mike Rizzo's dream of Cinderella dying in the first round.
Mike, you can't tell me we're going to have 1, 5, 3, and 2 again.
I don't care. Give me the best matchups. Sign me up.
I can see VCU beating Illinois.
Whatever. It's because we need an upset.
No, we need
upset.
the VCU is our guys.
No, Illinois is my guys, but it's okay. You can go VCU. If you two want VCU, because we need an upset, we can do it.
You need a bracket winner. Who's
Whatever.
our bracket winner?
Our bracket winner is going to be one of these 1 seeds going down in Michigan or Florida.
Florida Vanderbilt in the Elite Eight.
Hang on. We need to pick Houston and A&M.
Hey, Houston and A&M, excuse me. Houston's not losing that game.
You love Houston.
Love Houston.
Love Houston.
I like Houston more than I liked them last year. Houston, VCU.
Houston, and then I think it's Vanderbilt over Florida. If you want
them to beat them twice?
If you're dying to get Florida out of this tournament.
Florida fan Damian Perez.
I got Florida winning my whole bracket. So
that's not going to happen.
They're not going.
Florida.
I don't think they're going
Damian,
back-to-back.
you choose. Does Florida lose to Vanderbilt or would you rather than lose to Houston?
I think they're beating both.
All right. Well, it doesn't. All right. Mike Rizzo and I both want Florida eliminated. You get to choose how we do it.
If it were to be one, it's probably going to be Houston. I don't think Florida's going to lose 2 games in a row to Vanderbilt.
What? They could do
1-2 Elite Eight? Fine. You guys want to chalk it up again? We have 2 straight 1-2s. We better mix it up.
You want to see VCU and enough, dude. VCU is probably not even going to win in their first round game against Carolina.
Arizona against Long Island in the West region. Yes. Utah and Villanova. Utah State and Villanova.
I know nothing about either. I know the Big East stinks
Here's
this
what you
year.
need to know. Villanova's without a key big man, and they got good guards, though. They got NBA-level guards. Utah State is a team that's always efficient. It's a good coach. He's going to take the Cincinnati job after this year. Villanova hasn't beaten anybody in the top 75 in regulation all year. I'd say this is Utah State's the win.
Okay, Utah State it is. Wisconsin and High Point, we got Bucky, right?
I could listen to High Point here.
Dude, you just told me all the 5s are underseeded and we're not taking a 12. Don't be that guy. Dude, you hate your school. I've never met someone that hates their school.
That's not true.
Like
That's
you,
not
bro.
true, Mike. I'm
I've
realistic.
never met somebody that hates
Mike,
their school.
All right, here, you want me to paint the disaster for you? Wisconsin's playing High Point. They're playing in Portland. It is 1:50 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
All right.
You know what time 1:50 p.m. is in Portland? 10:50 in the morning. High Point hasn't played a basketball game since not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. They haven't played basketball in 11 days.
That can work against them, though.
I could.
All right. No, listen.
I'll take Wisconsin.
I'm going to ask you this.
We're going to take Wisconsin.
I'm going to ask you this.
Go ahead.
Do you want your Badgers out? Do you want them out?
No.
Okay. Then let's take Wisconsin.
Arkansas and Hawaii.
I love Cal. I know you want Hawaii.
This is the classic
so
game that
bad.
Cal would lose.
We have a 13 winning, though. Who was it? We had
Troy.
Dude, you're not knocking Cal out in the first round.
Fine.
Give me Calipari.
What about Texas winning on a game winner last night in the first 4?
I don't buy
beating BYU.
I don't buy BYU.
BYU's hurt.
I don't buy
Got the best
BYU.
player in the tournament, but they're hurt.
I'll take Texas here, personally.
I could live with that. But granted, in the 11 seeds, we already have VCU, and we already have South Florida. You want to go 3-0 on the 10 on the 11 seeds? Because the other 11 game is Miami of Ohio, and I want Miami of Ohio to move on.
They're not winning tonight.
Mike, they're going to win tonight.
Dude, no, they're not. What is up with you? And all right,
I say
if
this
you want
is BYU's to
then
win.
fine. If you want to live in a fairy tale that Miami of Ohio is going to win their first
Mike, our whole
quad one
bracket
game,
is chalk. This is not fairy tale land. Our whole bracket is chalk.
what was last year?
Chalk. There's a couple teams. Point is
Chalk.
Gonzaga to beat Kennesaw State.
Know nothing about Kennesaw State. Let's go
We're all
Gonzaga.
good there.
I like Miami, and listen, Dennis Gates is my guy for play.
I think Missouri stinks. I completely agree.
They stink, but Gates, I love you, brother. If you're listening, let's go with Miami.
I know somebody who plays on Queen
Well,
Charlotte.
you're out. We're going with
Yeah.
Purdue. All right, you're out. We're going with Purdue.
All right, Arizona, Utah State. Second round.
Sorry,
Arizona.
I did quite
Arizona's
my
my champion. Wisconsin, Arkansas.
I
This
say
is a tough game.
I say Arkansas. I think they got too many athletes.
Damien?
I'm high on Arkansas.
I am too. I might have Arkansas beating Zona in my own bracket, but I know Colin doesn't want to do that. BYU and Gonzaga.
Let's do BYU here.
It's a
I
terrible
can't
game.
stand Gonzaga.
They stink this year.
And they're
anyway.
always in the Sweet 16, but I'm happy with eliminating them here.
Purdue or Miami.
I'd be happy with eliminating Purdue.
Yeah, Purdue not very good. I'll go. I don't have a
They
problem.
played
with
great
Miami.
at the Big Ten tournament, peaked at the wrong time. I could care less. That bad mojo around that team.
Here's your mayhem. You got a 6 and a 7, no pun intended, 6-7 in the Sweet 16.
Arizona's beating Arkansas. Can you agree with that?
No, but you do. Let's go with Arizona. And
Damien, did you have Arkansas
I
beat?
do. I got them in my Final Four.
Am I going to get outvoted here?
I would vote Cal. I think Cal's an unbelievable coach. You hate on Cal.
I hate on Cal.
Cal's
offense is, hey, first round pick. Go get us 40 points. We'll try to win the game.
Well, had the best team ever and wrongfully lost to a Wisconsin team. All right. We're at a
We can do it. We 2 out of 3. You guys wanted Arkansas to beat Arizona?
Dude, Arizona are chokers. They are known chokers.
Oh, gosh.
Frauds.
We need an upset, too.
While you're arguing for Calipari, he's rich.
Calipari's been to about 8 Final Fours.
But he's somebody.
How many Final Fours has Arizona been since Richard Jefferson?
This is
0.
fine, Arkansas.
Miami
you're
or
making about
BYU?
the program. It has nothing to do
Miami or BYU?
with that. I would go BYU here.
And,
All right.
and
Arkansas and BYU.
then, I mean, Coach Cal's going to the. Where's the Final Four this year? Where's
Indianapolis.
Cal's going back to Indy.
This will be the battle for the number 1 pick, pretty much.
When Hawaii doesn't switch and beats Arkansas, do not look at me.
What a waste.
Midwest, let's knock this out quickly. All right, you ready?
Go ahead.
To start things off, Michigan over Howard.
Correct.
Howard's underrated, by the way. They're going to
Correct.
give him trouble. Georgia and St. Louis. Georgia's the most underrated. Georgia's the most athletic team in the entire tournament.
I'm down on St. Louis. Let's go Georgia.
Okay.
Texas Tech, Akron. I think Tech's going to win this one. Popular upset pick. I think the opposite's going to happen.
I cannot believe Akron's at 12. Texas Tech. Alabama and Hofstra.
Hofstra,
bad mojo with
Alabama's
Bama.
second. That's why I think Alabama's going to win.
Okay, let's go Bama. Tennessee
And Miami, Ohio. Let's go Ohio.
They were losing by 30 tonight.
Ohio it is. Virginia over Wright State.
Realistically, 15-point game. Miami, Ohio loses, but we'll do it.
You want Kentucky to lose?
Virginia or Wright State. Let's go Virginia. I think Kentucky wins, and then they lose to Iowa State in the next round.
Damien,
Colin,
you agree with all that?
Yep.
Miami, Ohio, SMU versus Virginia. Virginia stinks, by the way.
Miami, Ohio.
Okay, well, they're going to lose tonight.
Wow, this is like pick your poison. I'd say Texas Tech here. Slowly.
Fine. Georgia or Michigan? We're going Michigan.
Michigan, no problem.
Michigan. Do we have Michigan to the Final Four?
Yes.
I could listen to Iowa State to the Final Four. No, Michigan to the Final Four. Stop. Iowa State's. I'm not doing that with you. We're not doing that. All right, Colin. You got Arkansas versus Michigan, and we have Houston versus Duke. Do I have that right?
That is correct.
I have Duke beating Houston. Are you fine with that?
Fine with that. I would have Michigan beating Arkansas. I'm not having Arkansas.
So we have the rematch of the Fab Five from the 90s. Who do we have winning?
Duke. I would go Michigan here. I'm never choosing Duke to win. Damien, you're a deciding factor. You have no dog in the fight. Who do you want
Damien,
to win?
as a personal friend and my producer for almost every show here, you have to say Duke.
I gotta do good.
Thank
I
you.
gotta do Duke.
We got Duke.
I can't have
this
Mike.
bracket.
We got
Michigan
Duke
here.
winning the whole bracket.
What total points?
I think 68 to 63.
All right, so low scoring. All right, got it. Perfect. There it is. Submit the bracket. Duke over Michigan. That's our Final Four. That's our champion. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Perez. We'll close out the program next. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Hard Rock
Anajar
Bet,
and Levine
Cacti.
Accident
That's what we gotta
Attorneys.
do.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Lithium batteries and products containing them need to be disposed of responsibly. Lithium batteries are highly volatile and can easily ignite if they enter the waste stream, causing fires and putting people and property at risk. As a community, we have a vested interest in preventing these fires and recycling in garbage facilities and equipment in Palm Beach County. Never put lithium batteries into the garbage or recycling bins. Do your part and a fire won't start. For disposal locations, visit swa.org/batterysmart.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Last chance to get involved at Cacti Park in the Palm Beaches. Spring training baseball right down the street in an intimate, in-person environment that you can find over at Cacti. See the Astros, see the Nationals. We were there yesterday throwing some pretty horrific first pitches. We'll be there live on site tomorrow. Come say hello to us if we're there. Go see some of your favorite players. It's over next week. Opening day is just around the corner. You got to take advantage because baseball in West Palm Beach in the spring training is closing up here shortly. Go get your tickets today at cactipark.com. Go check out some of the promos and deals they have. Bring the family. Go get a 4-pack, which is 4 drinks, 4 chips, 4 hot dogs, and 4 tickets. Go to Cacti Park today because you can see some of the top players in baseball coming right down here to West Palm Beach. CactiPark.com to get your tickets today. So we made our bracket, our final
Hang on.
four.
I got it, brother. Miami, Ohio. You think they're winning tonight? Do you want to bet something?
No, I don't want to bet something.
Are they favored?
No. God, no.
I don't know what the line is.
Dude, they're
going
going to lose. They're going to lose by 15 points tonight.
So SMU's favored by 7. I would take Miami, Ohio in a second with that, but no.
Dude, you wanted to take them to the Elite Eight. That's why I'm getting on your.
No problem with that.
That's why I'm getting on your fanny. You
No
wanted
problem
to
with
take
that.
them. I'm getting on your fanny because you wanted Miami, Ohio to the Elite Eight, beating Iowa State, and I mean everyone along the way. I'm down on Virginia, but geez.
Here's the thing. There's no. You got to have a couple bracket winners, and we did. VCU, big bracket winner for us. You're big on Arkansas, dude. Arkansas.
So is Damian.
They lose that first big game. Calipari is either
went to
a big run, or they lose early.
He
you
went
know
to
that.
Dude, it was only his final 2 years at Kentucky where he would lose like that.
Oh, it's bad.
He did that for 2. He did that in 21 and then 23.
Bad.
That's it.
Bad.
Bro, before that, he's made this second weekend every year he was there.
That's not true. That's not true. We could go year by year in that if you want, but that's not true.
We could, dude, I'd say three times Cal has in totality. They didn't make it 1 year, all right? And like the third year at Cully Stein, they didn't make the tournament. But Colin, the years they made the tournament, I think 3 times he didn't make the second weekend.
Here's the thing about Calipari. Calipari is not a beat you with his coaching acumen. He is a guy who recruits to the top level of what you could find. The way I view it with Calipari is they're just going to beg to lose to Hawaii.
The only reason I disagree with you is when they went on the run when they were in 8th seed.
I mean, they lost to
your
St.
Huskies.
Peter's. You remember that? I mean, they lost to that they lost to St. Peter. Then they lost to that the Kansas State team that
2,
made the run.
I said 3. Keep
Oakland.
that in mind.
They
3.
lost that one. That was 3. That was like 3 years in a row.
But what I'm saying is he's only not made it 3 years. He's been in the second weekend every year other than that.
I mean, they lost to here's a year where they're, losing the Sweet 16, fine to a 9 seed. Oh,
but
God.
still.
Not
Sweet
great.
16, second weekend.
Second weekend, 2015, 2016, 27-9. What about that year, Mike? You remember that one? Ooh.
Gilgeous Alexander, maybe?
No, it was a year after that. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. Go download Hard Rock Bet today because you could bet on just about that. You want to bet on Calipari to lose. You want to bet on Arizona to win, Duke to win. Bet every single game of the NCAA tournament on the Hard Rock Bet app. First, for new bettors, first 10 bets, you could double your bets in the amounts won with a maximum of a $50 bet. So if you make that third bet, you bet $20 on something, you win it, boom, now $40. Add it to your account with the first 10 bets. Try it today. Go refer a friend, get $50 in bonus bets. You got it all available to you on Hard Rock Bet. Any game, anytime, live or in the future, you got it. Payable and bonus bets only, not a cash offer. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida the wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833. Play wise. See you next time. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.